Welcome back to the Hardcover Podcast, book lovers.
Hey, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Peyton.
And today we're reviewing Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is set in the same universe as Bride that we read earlier last year. It follows Serena, who is Misery's bestie, who is a human werewolf hybrid currently being hunted by vampires because, obviously being a hybrid is a special princess moment and everyone wants the hybrid.
Yeah.
And because she's being hunted, she is forced into a forced proximity situation with Alpha Keon.
The Alpha, of course.
With the Alpha Keon, who is protective over her in the most hottest, scrumptious way because she is literally his mate.
Yes. This book, I just, everyone, drink a cup of coffee as we dive between these paper sheets because this is going to get real good. Alrighty, we are entering a little bit of a non-spoiler section here, just in case you I don't know if you like Bride or, you just want to pulse check to see if Mate is the book you want it to be. I gotta say, jumping right in here, Ali Hazelwood and I have a mixed relationship. Some books I really love of hers and other ones, I've given 1 star.
Yeah.
I freaking loved Bride and I loved Mate even more. Literally, the fact that the second character, the best friend's novel for me, I was like, this will be a fun. I'm wearing my Hocus Pocus shirt today for a little because it's our Halloween episode.
Yes.
What? This is great. I'm reading it in October. This feels right. I was swept off my feet. So
that's insane. I'm so glad you loved it so much because I didn't know how you were going to feel. The spice level of this book, what was nice about it is it's a little bit of a slow burn, actually.
I think that's why I like it.
But usually Ali Hazelwood books have stuff before the sex scene that are still spicy scenes dispersed throughout the book. This is more building. Here's 20 pages of sex. And I wasn't sure how you were going to respond to that.
I think this book gives me major Twilight vibes. If you thought you were getting Twilight with the vampire and Bride and Misery. No. This gives Bella and Edward on a whole different and I think that's why I loved it because I'm reading it and I'm why is this book so addicting? I just love it. It reminds me of something ingrained in me and the culture. And I'm it's fucking Twilight. Just the vibe. And I think their characters really follow that. Edward's kind of mysterious and holds back. And I think Cohen is like that in this book too.
Well, and the setting was so hoa coded. It was literally Ali Hazelwood watched New Moon before writing this book. What else can I say? The water, the cliffs, the trees. It was giving Forks, Washington.
Yes. Oh, and the fact that they're in the Northwest Territory or whatever the fuck it's called, I'm literally, I picture it.
There was even all these scenes of the werewolves eating together, and I'm this is a clip from New Moon. I have seen this film before.
Yeah, and I fucking loved it. So I have to say, spice levels, if you've been watching the podcast for a long time, my tolerance, I don't love a lot of smut, and that's why Ali and I love her writing, but we have a little bit of a problem sometimes. Loved the spice in this book. I like it culminating to because then it feels that's romantic then. We've been on edge this whole book just wanting you guys to rip each other's clothes off and it finally happens versus well, we can't do that again. And it's yeah, we can't. And then there's that tension throughout the book, but it's annoying.
Yeah, you're not being strung along. You're just building.
Yes.
I will say I was checking out my copy of Mate at Barnes & Noble and the cash register was oh my gosh, what do you think about this author? I've seen a lot of her books. And I was oh, I love Ali. Well, I'm you work at Barnes & Noble, shouldn't you know? But anyways,
yeah.
it's this girl, I don't know, she looked college age. And I was oh, I love Ali Hazelwood, such good romance. I was they are spicier books. And the girl went, she's I get so confused by these cartoon covers.
Oh, no.
I was oh girl, if you don't want spice, don't pick up these books. I was she has a YA book that you can pick up. I was
but No. Like, if my daughter came home with the Ali Hazelwood book, I'm like, "No, you're too
You
young."
gotta wait. You gotta wait a little bit, or at least do it in secret. Like, hide it like I did as a teenager. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you gotta hide that shit. Yeah, you gotta be, like, pirating it on your phone or something and reading it behind my back because, like, I don't know. So, I will agree with her. These cartoon covers are very misleading because as, like, a teenager, like, a preteen more so, I'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this looks like Twilight," and it's like, "No."
But I feel like the teenagers just shop in the YA section. Don't go over to adult romance.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I really love this cast of characters. I mean, I love the cast of characters in Bride.
Mhm.
Obviously, we're intermixing them. And also want to add, I didn't know who Serena was when I opened this book. I'm like, who is this Like, I did not remember her from Bride.
Well, the whole plot of Bride is she's missing.
Yeah, I did not remember that bit. Like, seriously, all I remember is, like, their love story.
Yeah, you're like, I remembered a sexy werewolf.
Yeah, and I also remember, like, her dad kinda sucks, and they, like, go and, like,
Yeah.
fuck some shit up with the vampires. Like, that it was, like, in my head, I'm like, "Wait, who's Serena again? Who's Cohen? Like, who are these people?" Like, I'm like, "Oh, got it, love it." So, I really like this cast of characters. I love his seconds, and I kinda like the alpha, like, mentality and pack, like, idea. Because we see this a lot in our fantasy books. This is just put in, like, a different lens.
Yeah, I think Ellie Hazelwood has a remarkable talent for taking tropes that you think you wouldn't like, or even just like reading the description of this book and being like, her alpha, it's just like, ew, that's so disgusting.
It
I
is.
don't want to read that. And then she takes it and she grounds it in these characters. She just makes it feel so real and well done. Like, for a second in this book, I thought we were going to get the pregnancy trope.
Me too, because yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I think I actually like I feel like if Allie Hazelwood did it, I could trust it."
I'd be okay.
And that's insane.
Yeah. I know, I felt the that's so funny you said that because I felt the same exact we can maybe mention more about it in the spoiler section,
Yeah,
but I was like, "I'd be okay with this," and I hate pregnancy tropes, but, like, I actually you know what? I'm here for it.
could be down.
Yeah. I mean, the thing of this is considered a paranormal romance, which took us, like, by surprise with the first book, but that's just kind of what they call these crossovers. Because when I think of paranormal, I think of ghosts. But, I mean, it makes it being a Halloween read so much more fulfilling for the podcast. I will say with the alpha thing, there's a couple of things about these 2 books that are a little cringy for me personally. Yes,
Yeah.
what everyone's calling him alpha, it feels yeah, it's like, "Yes, alpha." Yes, it's like saying "sir," but alpha instead, and
Yes.
honestly, like, I don't hate it because, like, commit to the bit, right?
Mhm.
But also as someone who's like, "That's really weird," it's a little cringy, sure, but,
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
it's it has a place, it wasn't, like, unnecessary cringe, you know?
Well, and I think she like, the further into the book you got, the more you understood it. I
Yeah.
was listening to, like, the first chapters, and Jacob, my husband's in the room, and it was, like, this scene where she's like, "But he's my alpha, and I can feel him calling towards me. It's so hard." Da, da, and he's like, "How can you listen to this shit?" And I was
Yeah, I
like,
get it,
"You
though.
don't understand. Like, I trust Allie. She's gonna
Yeah.
pull through." And by the end of the book, like, they're talking about how, like, they're like, "We're not humans. It's a, like, a physiological, like, need. It's a thing that's going on. It's just it became part of the world building, like our other fantasy
Yeah,
stuff."
exactly, like yep. You know, it's like when someone reads a page out of your book and they're like, "Oh my god," it's like, "No, you're not reading the whole story, like, this
Yeah.
makes sense." Like, you're just not like, you're not it's like people hated on Twilight. It's like, you don't get it because 'cause you're not in it, so shut up.
You need to
Um,
buy into the narrative, and then you're gonna have the best time ever.
yeah, so that's kinda how I feel about that. These books have elements of nodding in them, so if you don't know what that is, I don't really wanna explain it to you, but I will say, I knew it was gonna happen in this book. I like how they made like, Misery and her were joking about it to each other because like,
Yes.
we are too, but, yeah, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was like, when they dirty talk in this book, I honestly maybe I like this book because I skimmed that like those 20 pages because I was like, got it, got it, got it, got it. Like just like looking for dialogue.
Yeah.
There are some one-liners about a certain someone's not in this book, and I was like, no, don't say that.
I did think it was a little bit more subdued than it was in Bride.
Yes.
Because as the reader, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
In Bride, we didn't know what nodding was. We didn't know what was coming. But in this one, I was like, okay, he's a werewolf. And there was jokes about it all along. Like Misery's like, I might need to explain nodding to you at some point. Like that kind of set it up to feel a lot better when those scenes eventually came. If you don't know what nodding is, it's a sex thing that happens with dogs that in this universe happens with werewolves.
Yeah, you can look that. I'm not interested in
Read the book.
Yeah, this is not a scientific podcast, but I will say, as someone that was really turned off by that in the first book, I will say I feel like it served a bigger and greater purpose in this book. So
it served a purpose, guys.
It served a purpose, and I was fine with it this time. Let's talk about something I absolutely love. And I didn't look at any like previews of these, but Aubrey and I talk all the time about epigraphs, especially using Bride as an example. And I'm opening this book. I'm like, if we get one chapter from this point of view, I'm going to be pissed. We get the epigraphs again. And it's amazing. I loved it. And I love how some of them were really deep and like serious, and then some of them were like so funny in like one-liners.
It's such a perfect way to get the male love interest POV, because just a sentence or two at the start of every chapter, exactly what I need. All of the yearning, none of the yucky lustfulness.
Or like sometimes in these books, they like infantize the female character.
Yes.
And it really pisses me off because some women like that. And that's why they put it in books. And like, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but like for me, I'm like, oh, so that's what you're thinking. And so it gets me mad. But the epigraphs, like if I was a writer, I would be taking this and applying it to my writing. Like that would directly go into like my back pocket. Like that is how you let your audience know what he's thinking. And it was romantic and I loved it. So with that being said, we're going to jump into our spoiler section. But first, unless you have anything else, star ratings.
Yeah. Okay. I gave Mate 4 stars. I really liked it. I don't have any real issues with it. I just think I like some of her other ones a little bit more. And maybe that's like headspace of coming out of a really horrible book before this one.
Yeah.
Or it's just like the characters and stuff. I liked Serena. I liked Keon. And I just felt like I was missing maybe one or two bonding conversations between them before the end of the book.
No, that totally makes sense. I gave this 5 stars, and this is probably my favorite Allie Hazelwood book. I definitely recommend this. Like everyone should read this, especially if you are like you love romance, but you read a lot of fantasy. This is, when I say the word palate cleanser, I mean it. It's going to cleanse your palate. It's a quick read. It's a very fast paced. You're gonna have a fun time. You're gonna fall in love, and it's great. And like I said, Twilight. So, all right, we're gonna move on to our spoiler section here. So if you haven't read the book and you don't want any spoilers, we'll see you soon.
Like the video on your way out.
Yeah, like the video on your way out. We'll see you. We'll see you in a bit. All right. So,
guys, Allie Hazelwood does protectiveness in such a hot liberal way. Like literally, all any girl wants is a guy who is like protective and caring and wants to make her needs his number one priority without him being a possessive, controlling, toxic asshole.
Yeah.
And that's a fine line to toe.
It is.
And we've read a lot of books where the man drifts way past it. Not Allie Hazelwood's men. No,
the way she especially in this, like, I feel like she did Lo pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, how is she going to make Lo and Cohen different? Like, how is this going to work.
Yeah, feel.
But I feel like there is that line.
Yeah, Cohen's definitely, like, rougher.
Yeah, he's more, like, on the rougher side, whereas I feel like Lo is more like, "Okay, like, yeah, like, we can do that. Like, yeah, sure." Like, he's like, I don't know. I think they're perfect together, like, as best friends. And the fact that they're both alpha, it's like, like, imagine it's like when you and your best friend, like, you see it in movies or whatever, get like, they both date celebrities, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Wow, like, look at us, like, girl, we did it."
We did it. We got the peak of the pack.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's talk about Cohen's chastity covenant. What did you see that coming, like, at all? Because he was so the first chapter's crazy. He's like, "You're my mate. See you later." Like,
peace.
And I loved it. I was like, "Yes, be mad."
I knew there had to be some reason why he wasn't pursuing her. I actually thought, like, her biological stuff with the heat, I thought it was going to be something in reverse. Like, something with him when he, as an alpha, connected with his mate. It was going to, like, force her, like maybe, like, the moment they had sex, then she would be, like, biologically wired to never want to leave him. Like, I thought he was pushing it off for her benefit. Nah,
Right.
man, my man's a nun. My man's a fucking nun. You know what I mean? Like, at first I was like, that's a chastity covenant, so fucking weird. Like, this is so unbelievable. But then I had to be like, well, we have, like, nuns and priests who also aren't allowed to have sex because of their, like, high status in the religion or pack, you know?
Yeah, and it just makes sure that his first priority is the pack, which is, like, priests, their job is their religion
Yeah,
and
they're
whatever, so,
people. Yeah.
like, whatever, it makes sense, but and everyone was like, "He can't break, like, do you know about the covenant? Do you know?" And I was like, "Wait, this is fun." Like, we're, like, adding in this, like, whole, like, "No, you literally cannot," and there's nothing more a girl wants than what she cannot have, and so I was like, "This is going to set her off." I was unsure about the whole, Serena dying plot, like, I was like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
and so the fact that she was just about to get her period, because that's really what heat is, like, when a female dog goes through heat, like, they bleed and then, like, they're,
Wait, so the heat is like a dog thing? I thought she just made that up.
Oh, no, so, yeah, education again, like, so when a female dog goes into heat,
Yeah.
male dogs, like, and I've witnessed my own male dog, they
Uh-huh.
will start salivating and they'll hyperfixate and they'll fight other male dogs
Oh my
for
god.
her, and, the smell and, like, the pheromones that actually come off of a female dog in heat is crazy, and, like, when female dogs aren't in heat, by the way, I used to work with dogs, and that's why I know these things, they, like, will not let a dog mount them unless they're super submissive, but when they're in heat, they're like, "Yes. This is what I need." Like,
Damn.
yeah. So it's
Damn.
totally
That time when you just need to fuck.
yeah, and they bleed and, like, yeah, they're like, "This is time we make a baby." So, it's a real thing.
Huh. Interesting.
And nodding's a real thing for dogs too, so
I knew that. You know, Allie Hazelwood was like, I'm really gonna take the dog to the extent. Like, she's like, I could research wolves or I could just, like, see what, like, my dog goes through.
and in my work, my boss always said, like, dogs are built different. Like, once a male dog is in, there's no coming out until they're done. So, let's put this into a hybrid wolf and wolf interact. She needs to write a book about cat snacks. 'Cause I'm more of a cat girl now. And
When can we get, like, the witch cat shifter?
yeah, like the witchy cat.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm down for that.
This is not the first time I've read a book where the solution for the end was the main character being banged repeatedly. But this was the better time. like if I read a book where the main character, the day was saved by having sex repeatedly, I would have 2 nickels. But it was so much better in this than Court of a Vampire Queen. And that is funny that it was a vampire book and now a werewolf book.
I know, and I love in the line Cohen's like, "I know what you need. You just need to be." I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "You know what? In another instance, I would have been like, cringe. In this instant, it's hot. I don't know what to
It's
say.
hot.
It's hot."
And talent for Miss Allie Hazelwood. Like, you knew, if it wasn't in her Instagram bio, I think you could still tell that Miss Allie Hazelwood was raised in the streets of AO3, because there is nothing more fanfic than needing to just be like fucked by an alpha. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you get your, are you dying or do you need fucked by an alpha?
Yeah. And so bringing it back down to like reality, what Allie's able to do is take those like Wattpad AO3 like fantasy things, but she wraps it into really good storytelling and writing. And that's why I want to get into this whole cult situation.
Yeah.
When she was outside and she turns on that guy's on his knees, like praising her and calling her Ava. And I was like, this is like where I got spooked out. I was like, holy shit. Like, and I think that's why, like, that book, she's all like sex and smut. Yes, there is a lot of that in this book, but there's also this like plot line that is happening that is very important to the story.
Yeah, and not only is it important to the story, like, it was very much a critique of modern day society and politics and this idea of like blind faith in someone. Like, I think you can draw a lot of parallels, and I don't think Allie Hazelwood was very like subtle about what she was trying to do.
Oh, absolutely. The whole her aunt and her dad being like the bad guy. Like, no one wants to hear that your family, like, you know, and of course Cohen's like, yeah, I mean, I may have killed your mom.
He's like, I may have killed your mom, but I do think like your dad killed like my parents. So like it all comes out in the wash, really.
I was like, oh God, here's the third act breakup, like whatever. But you know what? This is why I like Serena. She whipped that shit into shape real quick. She had her moment. She was like, what the F? But then she was like, you know what? The past is the past. And he was just doing his job.
Yeah. And like, she didn't know them.
Yeah. And I was just a little girl in a closet. So I knew that first chapter. I was like, this is the love interest that's saving her. I was like, this is what's happening.
Which is kind of icky.
It is, but also it's fantasy.
It's fantasy.
It's different than Problematic Summer.
But that's what I think is so funny, is that we spent Problematic Summer Romance, like the entire book, just like salivating over the fact that there's like a 14-year age gap, right? Like those characters couldn't shut the fuck up about it. These characters barely reference it. Like this way character, it's like, oh, you also did meet me as a child and save me. Who the fuck cares? Like, it's like 23 and like 36. Like, it's still comparable. Yeah. Allie's like, I'm not done. She's like, I like an older man, okay? He's so much more mature.
Yeah, and I was here for it. Yeah, the whole cult thing, love that.
Yes.
Love that little twist at the end. Like, and it spooked me out the whole book because they left the necklace, and then that guy showed up and then killed himself and ran off the cliff, and then like who's all like in on all of this? And so I really liked it,
especially for our fantasy book. Like, we needed a thrilling B plot, and I think that this was a good job.
Yes.
Okay.
I see you have our W2F moments.
Yes. Or favorite moments. You can talk about stuff that you really love, but like, we're just gonna highlight some of our favorite or least favorite things from the book before we wrap up here.
We love pulling up or mentioning just these moments, like our favorite part of the book that like, I just need to let everyone know this is my favorite part of the book. Well, Aubrey, the two things you have down are also my two favorite things of the book. So we don't have to waste too much time. The piano lessons when she's teaching in like C chord, and then later she once again, like Edward, like also like 50 Shades of Grey, Christian Grey, when he's out there playing the little piano. I'm like, he knows how to play this piano. But he's like, you asked me if I play often, and I don't. But I do know how to play. I was like, ah!
No, I was embarrassed for her. I was so embarrassed for her because I'm like, why do you think he has a piano in his home, in his bare bones home where he has like no decor? Why would I get it. He like lied to her and whatever. But like, honestly, I would have never tried to teach a man who has a piano as the only thing in his cabin. Like, we're not in a fucking 50 Shades mansion where like someone else just paid to put it in there, like an interior designer put it in. No, he's in a cabin with a piano. I think my man knows how to play.
Oh, I know. And when she's teaching him and he's like this and like, you know, he's just doing it to like basically like make fun of her.
Because she sat on his lap.
Yeah, exactly. It's how he got her on his lap. But I was like, this is gonna come back when they're actually effing around, and he's gonna be playing piano. And that is literally every girl's like that is literally my dream. Like waking up and he's like shirtless, just playing the piano, and you're like, you do know how to play.
You're like, oh my God, you can play.
It just reminds me of Twilight so much. So I was like, oh my God. I think my little girl self was like, yay. And then she goes full house mommy when she moves into Cohen's cabin. And I love it, actually.
Yeah, it was cute.
Because she's like cooking waffles for everyone in the pack, and she gets to know them, and they get to know her, and they really like her. And like, there's really no like contention.
No, and it was so funny when they were like showing up and they were like, did you happen to make breakfast today? Like, just like, if you have any leftovers, like I was just wondering if maybe there's leftovers breakfast.
Yeah, and I love that because I have a lot of guy friends that are like that. They always come over, they're like, so like, Peyton, did you happen to buy those cookies you could make again? And it's like, for me, it's not like they're trying to like, woman, you belong in the kitchen. They're more so like, we love when you do this because they're so good. And I think she liked that like found family aspect because obviously all she had was misery growing up, and also she kind of was a prisoner of her own home. Yeah. And so I really loved that. I also loved at the end of the book, Cohen's like, I don't even like coffee. She goes, I've been bringing you black coffee every day. He goes, yeah, I like tea. And I was like, that's funny.
He's like, I like something a little bit more sweet. And she's like, oh, don't you want your like manly black coffee? He's like, no, 3 sugars, please.
Yeah, he's like, I actually rather tea. She goes, what? Why have you been doing this? And he's like, because you were so happy every morning bringing it to me.
It's so cute. And I love that, like, that's Allie giving her, like, all of the main characters always have a hobby. They always have, like, their interests, their passions, a career. Like, they're always a fully built character outside of the connection to the man.
Yes.
And Serena's was cooking, and she was like, I love cooking because it was something that like I didn't have and I wanted to like experiment with. Like that was her version of creativity. So
yes, I love that. She always does a little bit of like woman in STEM in her books, and I love it.
Slay. What a cute book.
We are going to end there today.
Yes.
Let us know if you liked this book as much as we did. As always, like and subscribe. And we, as always, will take your recommendations down below because we love a good book rec.
Thank you so much for joining us, and happy reading.